the police station was at 515 South Frio. This is just right past North Frio. So, 7 blocks away, basically. I had waited somewhere else, thought some other auditors would be showing up. But either way, um, I'm a lone wolf most of the time. I'm not worried about it. It would have been nice to talk with the guys, but no big deal. The reason I'm going live again, real quick, you got their parking lot on the other side here. And turn the camera around. You got PD 24 over there. I walked over here, uh, walked on this sidewalk over here. Now, folks, remember, I'm not one of the people who have a criminal trespass warning here. I can walk on via property anywhere, wherever at this point. I have written permission to film in all non-restricted areas on via property. You don't need that, but I actually have it. Um, so yesterday I came by here and one of their guards told me I wasn't allowed to be on the sidewalk. So, um, I've let things slide and, whatever. Pointed that out yesterday. Actually spoke with Abbott, the guard that, I told him he could go fuck himself when he told me I couldn't be here unless I was waiting for a bus when I was waiting for a bus. Same guy who told me when I was right at this corner I couldn't be on that sidewalk, and I said some very unkind words to him along the lines of he could perform oral sex on me. Not in that way, but I mean that's what I said. You know where I'm getting at. Anyway, I talked to him after that guard told me that. He was polite. I was like, hey, you know who I am. You know what I do. You guys got to stop telling people they can't be on these sidewalks. I mean, it's public property. We don't care if you think it's via property. It's a public sidewalk. So at this point, I just got a notification. Looks like the rest of the crew's out with Desert Goat. They're up in the Almost Park region for anyone who's watching. So if you get a chance, they're probably going to go live stream there. I know, truth be told, Audits was in town. I'm not sure if he still is, but I would suspect he is with them at this time. He's a great auditor to watch. He supports his local people. I know he's worked with Desert Goat. And again, so I do suspect that he is with them at this point. For me, I'll just do my thing real quick here and go ahead and get out of the area because, again, I was waiting for these guys. And while I'm down here, I'm like, oh, I might as well wait down here. They might come down here based off of SA 210's unlawful arrest the other day. But they're still up on the other side of town. And again, if you get a chance, go check out Desert Goat. He's a local guy. He doesn't edit anything. I think he always just goes live stream and whatever it is, it is. It's one of the things I liked about Truth Be Told Audits before too, is he doesn't or didn't do any editing before. In this day and age, if you do this enough, you're going to have to edit, or you're just going to be, putting out 10-hour videos. So, those people who still keep those short lives up and do what they do, appreciate that. We all need to support each other. And again, I'm down here and I am filming. And it's more or less just to make a statement that we're allowed to do this. We're going to continue to do it. And every time they decide that they're going to push something, if we don't push back, then what happens is they just go, oh, well, we can do it. Just like that guard yesterday telling me, oh, you can't be here. And I'm like, what? No, I don't think so. See, she can go and tell someone else that, and they'll believe her and just, say, oh, I can't be on the sidewalk, and leave. And the problem is until someone like me comes along and says, no, you can't tell them that, they actually think they can get away with that crap. A lot of times, even after we tell them that, they still do it to other people. And you got a security guard here talking to someone. Again, I'm not trying to get in anyone's business tonight, but I am making my presence known. So, stop here, stop in the smoking area, enjoy a cigarette, and I'll probably be on my way. It's getting a little cold, so you don't have as many people out here. I know some people had commented, these guys do have a rough job because of the amount of uh, people with mental illness, homeless, drugs in the areas, and they do have a hard job. But that doesn't mean that they get to violate other people's rights. You know, uh, I'm sorry, but yeah, we want our transit authority to keep this a safe place for everybody, but we don't want them going around and picking on people, especially because they don't like what they're doing. If it's a legal activity, they need to just back off. You know, it's that simple. How you doing? I hear you. Sorry, what's your name, sir?
My name is Centro.
Okay, I haven't seen you out here before. I'm an auditor. I film all the time in public. I'm not, trying to get in your business or whatever. Just let you know who I am, what I do. Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, most guards understand that. Sometimes, things come up or whatever. So I always try to introduce myself, let you guys know, let you know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, because I honestly believe that being proactive is better than like if you see someone walking around, just filming it, it may look suspicious to some people, but for me, I've had different results down here. And like I said, I always believe in just being upfront and honest with people, telling them what I'm doing so they know what's going on. If you ever have any questions about, what people like I do, feel free to approach me. I'm an easy guy to get along with as long as, like I believe being polite and respectful. As long as people are like that with me, I have no problem at all with.
What was your name?
Tori. It's Tori Reese.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, I've got a channel. It's called Blue Lives Matter. One of the reasons I'm down here, and again, I mean it happens, but just yesterday, had a guard tell me I couldn't walk on a sidewalk over here. Now these are public sidewalks. I understand via property, but guards keep telling people things, and I'm like, look, I've been over this with you guys. I'm probably the only person in the city of San Antonio who actually has written permission from VIA to film on any of their property that is not restricted. No one needs that permission, but I actually have it because of other issues. So, that happened yesterday, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll just come out and, do a quick audit again, because when that happens, you've got to make sure that you shut it down. Otherwise, they do it to other people. Again, it's not about getting people in trouble or whatever. We audit public servants to make sure that they're doing the things right and correct. And I mean, honestly, I was just saying, you guys have a difficult environment down here because of the homeless, the drugs, the mental illness down here. So it is a difficult job in this area. And at the same time, when I see good officers, I recognize them. I appreciate it. And more people who view that understand that both law enforcement and the citizens, sometimes we perceive the exact same thing from a different view, but that's based off of people's perceptions. And the more people who just see things from multiple views, then the closer we are to bridging that and getting that closer together. So I don't want to continue bothering you. I know you're enjoying your break. Again, you'll notice, like right now, I'm not pointing my camera at you. Typically, when I do interviews like this, I just find it kind of intimidates people. But like if I do see that you're approaching a suspect or something like that, I do film from a respectful distance. And again, it's nothing about you. It's just that, we want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. And if there is a problem, that, it shows the professional behavior that we expect. I think I've got a couple of your officers having to use force. And every time that they've asked me, they're like, hey, where's that so I can look at it? I mean, I've told your officer. He had a dry stun up at the North Star Mall. And he's like, I didn't see it on your channel. Why not? I was like, well, I think you know why. They basically, after the incident, they both had their cuffs with the key links on the inside. So they kind of screwed that up. And I didn't want to embarrass anyone. I was like, how'd you guys get those cuffs off? He said, yeah, we had to cut them off. But I mean, it was good use of force. He did good aftercare. And it's like I told him, I said, I'll put that up and I'll edit the other stuff out. But again, that's what we want to see. And, people, they view things sometimes and they think, oh, that's excessive force, but they don't really understand what all goes into it. And like I said, I mean, the average citizen, they support law enforcement, but they get different views, and then they see certain things and they go, that's excessive, or this isn't. It was like I was telling that officer, I said, one person commented, well, he didn't need to give him that knee strike. And I'm like, yeah, he actually did, but if you notice, he wasn't excessive. He did what he needed. Then he deployed, the dry stun, and then he gave him aftercare. That's what we expect to see. He controlled the situation. So either way, like I said, if you see me out here, this is what I do. I'm in the area quite frequently. So, okay, you have a good evening. So, like I said, one of the guards that I haven't seen around here, I mean, I may have seen him, but I haven't spoke with him. I always try to speak with all the guards, let them know what we do, why we do it, and let them know that not all auditors are anti-authority or anti-police. What we are is anti-bad policing, and that's why we do what we do. Accountability is why we do what we do. And when we can develop good bonds with our local officers and guards, then that helps us in the long run as well. Because I can speak with that officer if I see something that I see as inappropriate at another time and address him. And he's not going to take it as personally, maybe, as if, he's like, oh, this guy filming me. I'm like, hey, we're not out here necessarily to get people in trouble. Sometimes people do need to get in trouble. But at the same time, we're not going to go away. We're going to continue filming. We're going to continue being in the public and making sure that our servants are doing what they need to do. And, when I tell people, I can usually recognize a decent officer right off the bat. If you saw when I approached, he was having a conversation. It was a polite conversation with one of the patrons. Whether or not that person's catching a bus or not doesn't matter to me. He's here. They're having a friendly conversation. And that indicates to me that the guard or officer is able to do that. And that's a good sign. And just like, I had a decent conversation with him there. So PD 24 is taking off. Probably circling the block. At this point, she'll be back around. No big deal to me. Like I said, I'm not doing anything wrong. And when I come out, I say I will continue to make my presence known. That's just basically what I do. So, guys, I'm signing off for the night. Please go watch Desert Goat, American Justice, Truth Be Told audits. Heck, they may even have the sheepdog out with them today. That wouldn't surprise me. And SA 210 Cop Watch. If you're out there too, go watch this stuff. Our local guys here, they all put in a lot of hard work. And there's PD 24. She just moved the vehicle back a little further. So like I said, guys, go ahead and tune into them. And like I said, folks, when you come out and do this type of stuff, you have to come out with the right attitude. I'll be honest, I never have the right attitude when I'm down at 515 South Frio, because excuse me, folks. Got some congestion in my lungs, so apologize for that. Wish I knew how to mute the live stream, but I know that sounds nasty, and another reason I'm calling it the end of my night here. I go out on a 515 South Frio. Every time I go down there, some officer acts a fool. And, I have plenty of times where I've gone out there and they don't act the fool. But when you go out and you do this, if you already predetermined that officers are going to misbehave, likely your reactions to them will get them to misbehave. As I said, and that's not really what we want to do out here. We want to document them in their natural behaviors. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you need to, let them expose that they'll do this if you do that. For example, when they ask your name, you go, why? And they get all nasty. And people go, why don't you just give them your name? Why would you give them their name? But again, when I say, if you come out and you do this type of stuff, Let them show their true colors. Try to stay unemotional. Truth be told, audits. If you've watched lately, his works of late. I'm sorry, my my ability to communicate there is not so good. If you watch his technique, has changed a lot recently. Shows a lot of personal growth, and I mean, I don't know how to explain that to a lot of people, but that professionalism helps us a lot more, and especially when these fusion centers are putting out, their watch lists and telling their officers, oh, this guy does this guy does that. When they go, hey, this guy's polite and professional, but he knows his stuff, those officers are less likely to harass you, and that means they're also less likely to harass citizens. We can't change bad officers, but we can educate good officers. And those officers, when they get these fusion reports and they read them, and they go, oh, this guy baits you by doing this. This guy is disrespectful by that. That just builds that anxiety and hatred in those officers. And, you know, I'm guilty of it. You guys have seen me. I've told guards to, suck my whatever, fuck off, go fuck yourself. Um, and, I don't want to say that no one should ever say that, but in the end, it doesn't help our cause as much as it makes us feel better at the time, and lying Lieutenant Lopez, when I called him a lying piece of shit, I meant it exactly. I have no regrets whatsoever about saying that. The guy's sitting there reading a sign, cannot understand it, and is going to arrest me for the same thing I'm trying to explain to him as officers try to arrest other people for, and it's unlawful. Sometimes you have to be confrontational. At the same time, like I said, watch these other guys, watch their techniques. If you're out here doing this, watch everybody. Take what you do from each of them, do it your way. All that we, ask is that, you remain true to the cause and do things your way. A lot of these guys, they'll go out with you. I know, like I said, I know for a fact American Justice had told me, they're out tonight in San Antonio. And when she said, oh, they're up in Olmsted Park, I know that's where Desert Goat is. So, these guys, they're local guys will get with you if you talk to them. Go subscribe to their channels. When they're on live chat, talk to them. Do other things. Be very, very cautious, though, about giving out personal information if you don't want the fusion centers to know it. Now, trust me, if they already have a file on you, they're going to know it. But smaller police departments, an officer starts digging and he looks through your stuff and you've given out your phone number, well, you might start getting some harassing phone calls because we all know some officers are like that. It's unfortunate, but some are. The San Antonio Independent School District officer lied and said he's a San Antonio police officer. He's the type of officer who intentionally goes out and targets auditors because he feels like we're a threat to his job. He doesn't get, the more he does stuff like that, the more of a threat we're going to become to his job because he's the reason we're out here doing it. So anyway, I'm rambling, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Like I said, go watch these other guys. I'm sure they're probably running live too. Okay. Thank you again. I see the comments. You guys have a good evening. Be safe. I'm about 30 minutes from getting to sleep. I may lay down and start watching some other things as well.